What's happening, guys, and welcome back to the Galactic Explorers Podcast. I am your host, Lunchbox, and this is episode 9. Whoop, whoop, whoop. As you can tell by the enthusiasm in my voice, guys, this has not been a very good week for us as a podcast and for the nation of the No Man's Sky fans out there.
I cry every time.
I cry every time, indeed.
I refuse to believe it. I'm living in my own world.
But let's be honest, these kind of rumours were going to be inevitable at some point, weren't they, in the build
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I mean, I can't think of any specific game right this second what's come out on time, apart from Nintendo. Nintendo games are very synonymous about coming out on time. But yes, the big news this week, guys, or big rumour this week, possible delays for the release of No Man's Sky around the world.
Devastation.
Devastation is in the air. And can you feel it tonight? So we have reports from, originally from Kotaku, if I remember correctly, saying they have sources, so this is more than one, that GameStop have received information either from Sony or from Hello Games that the game is going to be delayed. We haven't been given a specific date or anything like that. It's just they've just been told to print off stickers or whatever saying coming soon and put them over the date that's been suggested. Well, that's the date that's where it's coming out in that country. So obviously in America, the 21st of June, EU 23rd, 22nd?
I think it's the 22nd.
22nd, and the UK the 24th. Now, people everywhere have been doing some digging, myself included. Game stores in the UK, online at least anyway, they're still showing the 24th. Nothing about saying coming soon. The PlayStation Store in the UK as well still says the 24th. I believe in America it's still saying the 21st for places.
Yep, I just checked Steam 10 minutes ago, and it's still scheduled for the 21st.
Yeah, so it's been 2 days now that this rumour began, and there's not been a single word out of Hello Games nor Sony. So, what are your guys' opinions on this?
Should we go first, Phil?
I think it's total shit, and I don't believe it. I don't. I can't.
Short and sweet.
I mean, if you do a Google search right now and you just type in No Man's Sky postponed, there's just as many websites saying it is postponed as they're saying that it's just a rumor. It's literally split right down the middle. So,
yeah.
Till I hear it from Sean, I'm not believing crap, just like the rest.
Yeah. I mean, I think at first, like I said, I didn't believe it myself. And then, as James mentioned just before the podcast, someone posted a video on the Facebook group stating that... What was it exactly, James?
It was... Oh, damn it, I can't remember now. It was basically that it's possible that the digital copies won't be delayed.
But the
it's just
hard copies will.
Yeah.
Right. Now, this, to me, is bullshit in itself. I'm gonna rage out on this podcast. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna rage out. So, if you're gonna be offended by the strong language, do not listen to the podcast.
He's eating too much spinach today. Don't worry.
Too damn right. So, for me, the reason why this is bullshit is because if you're gonna delay the hard copies, it's not fair on the people who've ordered the hard copies, because the digital people can get their copy on time, and they're gonna be giving the finger to everyone who was pre-ordered the hard copy and not gonna be able to get theirs.
That's what you get for buying hard copies nowadays.
Yeah, but then again, on the opposite side, people are just going to either not buy the game anyway, or they're going to cancel their hard copies and then buy the digital copies. Now, does that mean everyone's going to buy the digital copies and then stores everywhere are going to be left with all this stock of physical copies? And then, because if you release a game on digital, because some of the reports are saying that it could be August at the latest, it gets delayed to, that's still 2 months of, no physical copy, and people are going to be wanting to play the game for 2 months on digital rather than waiting 2 months for a hard copy.
If it turns out that it is a hard copy delay, it's not necessarily Hello Games' fault.
No,
it could be a company that they're working with to get the hard copies produced.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's only the big companies like Microsoft and Sony, who, I'm about to say print the games, but you know what I mean, put the games onto disc, or they outsource it to a specific company that does that. And obviously, Hello Games would get that via Sony, so obviously it would be Sony's contracted company or internal company.
The thing is, though, if that turns out to be the case, then Hello Games is going to have to take all the blame for that, even though it wouldn't be their fault at all. Sony won't get criticised very much for it if it happens. They would probably try and put the blame on Hello Games, I believe, if that was the case.
I don't know, because of how strange their deal is with Sony, because the only financial support that Sony have given Hello Games is that in the form of, branding the game and
keeping it exclusive too.
Keeping it exclusive and getting it out there, all the media attention and stuff, advertisements and things like that. That's the only thing that Sony has given Hello Games. Sony had offered Hello Games, financial support for developing the game, but they turned it down. All development costs have come from Hello Games themselves, so you don't tend to see that often nowadays in gaming. Like you said, if they do try and put it out on them, I don't think that would work because of people's knowledge of what their deal is, and I think if they did that, it would actually backlash onto Sony.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I agree. The way Sean has danced around with Sony, he's like, to me, he's like Steve Jobs smart. You can see it in his eyes. He knows more than he lets on, and he acts a little bit simple, if you will. Yeah, but
he's a little less charismatic.
He's not stupid. He could have easily sold out to Sony and didn't.
Yeah.
He's a real criminal mastermind.
Yeah,
he is. He
is.
Fact, I mean,
he's very
that's
much
a good example.
He's very much like Kingpin in the Daredevil series, the first series, where he acts like a simpleton at first, but then obviously they find out that he's a criminal mastermind genius.
Right, like if there is like something going on, if it is a hard copy delay, like James brought up, it's like maybe hard copy and not digital. It's got to be on the Sony side because, like you said, they're the ones that are making the physical CDs.
Yeah.
Or Microsoft. And if that's the case, I bet you Sean is literally like on the phone going, motherfuckers, you better get this fixed now.
Yeah.
I got a feeling he can switch over real. He looks strong. Like, he doesn't seem strong, but I think he is,
Definitely mentally.
Yeah.
Definitely, because if he was a weak kind of if he had a weak physical character, he would have caved to everyone's demands for having aspects added into the game.
Plus, he would have stopped production altogether when the flood happened as well.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So if he had a weak character, that would have happened. But like I said, if Sony does try and blame it on Hello Games, I can see that bouncing back and hitting them.
There's like one thing that I don't think people understand really is that if there is a delay, it's because it has to be delayed. Like Sean wants this game to come out as much as we do.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to keep it
just as a rest,
hidden
just so
away.
he can have a rest.
Exactly. Yeah. But
he also wants everybody to take off at the same time too.
Yeah.
Like basically within a few day time span, obviously, but for half of us to be able to take off and get a head start, and the other half not being able to do that,
that's what annoyed me a bit when I first heard of the US release first, like 3 days before the UK.
That's always like, not annoyed me, but like I've always been quizzical about that because it's not that hard to get either a worldwide release or at least two releases. I mean, especially I can understand a separate release date for America and the UK, or America and Europe, but why is there a difference between Europe and the UK?
We are still it was still in Europe as of now.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. So
I've never understood worldwide logistics. I mean, I understand it. I know what it is, but I do not understand why we do things the way we do.
See, it always confuses me. Like now, all the Marvel films, their premieres, or like when they first get released, is always in England now, isn't it, or the UK? For some strange reason, Marvel films now, all their like not worldwide releases, but all their releases always start in the UK, even though it's a massive part of American culture. Like,
yeah, they do that crap here too. Like Star Wars, it came out a week before in New York.
Yeah,
I had to wait another week for my premiere. Something like
an entire week,
but it was like, it was
like 3 or 4 days.
Week.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But
and it's like, what the hell? Why are they special?
Comic book culture here is very minimal. Like, you see people walking around with like Captain America t-shirts now and stuff like that, but hardly any of them have got them because of the comic books. It's because of the films.
Yeah, I know.
Like, the actual films are more popular here than the comic books. I mean, that might be controversial for some people, but the fact is it's true. But getting back to No Man's Sky, it's just boggling why they would have these 3 set release dates if they didn't foresee possible problems. So I'm wondering if they're staggering release because they want to see how the servers do.
Potentially,
because obviously, if you do a worldwide release, I mean, you've seen problems with the Division.
There's loads of games where that basically the servers can't handle how many people are coming at once, so they just completely don't work for anyone.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, the Division's a perfect example of things like that happening. I mean, it's the same on Christmas Day. If you get a brand new console Christmas Day, you've got no chance of getting on to any games online on Christmas Day or possibly even Boxing Day, because kids these days are constantly getting new consoles on Christmas and things like that, and they're all trying to sign up and get all their accounts sorted out and things like that. It's a nightmare. So I'm thinking the whole fact that they have 3 release dates is to stagger the amount of people who are actually signing up and whatnot. Because I'm guessing you're going to have to create an account of some kind.
Right. And that makes sense, that's why they're a couple days apart for that.
So that might be understandable. So, but then again, if you do it that way, you're running the risk of first day in America when it releases, you got problems then. And then what you're going to do for the next 2 or 3 days, 4 days, when you're getting twice as many people in Europe signing up, and then you got 3 times as many people when UK eventually signs up for the game.
But I can't really see them delaying the game for server issues really, because the game can be played single player and it won't make much of a difference if you're online or not.
No, but then again, say if they do delay it because of that, and then think, right, we'll shut down the multiplayer aspect and just let the single player go at the minute. Once they get the multiplayer working to what they think will be working, they turn the servers on, everyone goes online at the same time, and then tries and uploads all their data from what they've discovered. Yeah,
you have a point.
Can you imagine the flood of information what will be heading towards their servers? Bear in mind they're what, a 14-man team?
Yeah, something like that. Very, very small.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to... I mean, depending on how many servers they've got, they're going to have at least one person monitoring each server or whatever. And that's, if they've got, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 server blocks, that's like nearly half of their team gone just monitoring the servers. So,
right. They better install an espresso machine, too, because they're going to be busy for a few days when it first comes out.
Exactly, so...
But I don't know, man. I think it's just hype.
I mean...
I can see maybe a slight delay, like, you get it, but, like, I don't know. For instance, the servers won't be up the first day, possibly.
Yeah, I can't see them, like, releasing the game and then say that you can have it, but you can't do anything with it.
Well, I mean, like, you could play it and whatnot, but, like, I don't know, because, like, I get a lot of games on Steam that the update gets postponed.
Yeah.
So many times, and it could be something along those lines, and that turned into, the whole thing's being delayed. You know how things can steamroll.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it was just a small rumor, kind of had the word delayed in it, and it turned into, oh shit, the game's being delayed now.
I mean, you've got pictures like saying this. I mean, the first picture here, it says the release date for No Man's Sky has changed since the provided posters were printed. Please use a coming soon pop-up to cover up the date and communicate as needed to your guest about the change of release.
You give me half a day and I can make anything look like anything.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that.
It's so easy. You can build a fake website and then make a link to it, and then people click on the link, and yeah, it looks like the official website, but did you actually read the URL?
Yeah.
People don't do that.
This isn't that. This isn't a page, like, this isn't a public page. This was a message to, like, a member of staff or something, so someone's obviously taking a picture of that message, and
I'm telling you, I could recreate that in less than a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm cynical about things like that only because I do it, or I have the ability to. I don't do that kind of stuff, but I know how to do it, and I could easily manipulate all kind of crap like that. So it makes me really cynical.
Then again, I mean,
that's what.
The good thing about Sean and Hello Games and that is, do you remember the rumours surrounding PSX last year when was it Paris Gamescom? Not PSX, Paris Gamescom, or whatever it is, Paris Games Show, or whatever it's called. And it started heating up rumours that the game was going to get released then, and stuff. And like for like 2 or 3 days beforehand, everyone was like, "Oh, the big rumours that it's going to get released in it was like December or November last year."
Right.
And it was going to get released then and stuff. But that it turned out to be the day when they said it will be coming in June next year.
Right. They were releasing the release date. Yeah.
But the thing is, on the run up to that thing, Sean and Hello Games said nothing on Twitter or anything. They didn't confront the rumors saying no, the game's not coming out on Paris Games Week or anything like that. They didn't say anything, and then they obviously made the announcement that the game was going to be released in June on that date. So the fact that they haven't said anything so far could be a good sign, because they're not addressing things that aren't true. Could be just ignoring, saying, we're better than this. If you don't trust us, then you've got a problem yourselves with it.
Right. And honestly, that's how I think. But what if he actually is the evil protagonist supervillain there is no game, and he's just sitting back there on the internet watching us all squirm, laughing with an evil grin.
I would hunt him down, and I would just do unspeakable things to him.
Well, let's take a road trip, Ash, down to Guildford.
Yeah.
I'm saving for my plane ticket now.
Don't worry, I'll Skype the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
I'll Twitch it. But then again, because the fact that it's going to get released, a rumor that it's going to get released is a good thing, whereas a rumor that it's going to get delayed is a negative thing. So it could be a bad sign that the fact that he hasn't come out and said that it's going to be fine or it is going to be delayed might be a bad thing, because they're just getting like a press release ready to give, or Sony's getting a press release ready or whatever.
Yeah.
To announce that it is going to be delayed. The bad thing is the fact that they've left it. The bad thing is that they said that in March they gave the actual date when in June it's going to be released. That was their first mistake. Fine, they could have just left it as saying it's going to be released in June, and then in March they could have said, oh no, we're going to need some more time. It's going to get patched to sometime in August, rather than saying no. We've got 3 months away. We're going to be ready for June the 21st, 22nd, 24th.
Right.
But now they've left it till 30 days away, or whenever it was that message came out, 30 days away from release, for a possible rumor to start up where it's not going to get released on time. I think the last game that this happened to was a racing game that was supposed to come out on release of the PlayStation 4. James, do you know what game this was again? Was it Drive Club? Or something?
Drive Club, yeah, I have Drive Club.
Drive Club.
I think
wasn't that supposed to be a release game, and then it got pushed back a whole year?
I'm not sure of how long it got pushed back. I'm pretty sure it did get pushed back, but when people finally got the game, the servers weren't working at all for at least about a year.
Yeah.
And now, because of everything, all the damage that's been done to that, Sony have closed that company down completely.
Yeah. That game was so bad. In fact, it did. I think it got to release date, and then they pushed it back by a whole year. And then when that whole year came out, it was about a week or two before it was supposed to get released again. And then they still needed another month or two to get released.
To be honest with you, I actually really enjoyed that game. I thought the gameplay was solid, but I purchased the game way after all the server problems and stuff.
Yeah.
So everything was running fine for me, running smooth, really great.
Well, that's the problem. Sony even tried to save it by giving a free version of the game away.
Yeah.
But PS Plus, they gave a stripped down version of the game, so it wasn't a demo.
But after one year of fuck ups, then the damage is done, isn't it?
Exactly. If your game gets delayed, if your game was supposed to be a release game for the PS4 in 2013,
yeah,
and then gets pushed back to 2014, and even then it was a week before it was supposed to get released, or whatever it was, a month before it was supposed to get released in 2014, it gets pushed back by another month or whatever it was again, then your company is knackered.
Pretty much. Well,
yeah, you're already in the hole by that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still going to have the dedicated fans who get the game, but you'll lose the majority of them.
Yeah,
though.
You'll get the dedicated fans who will get the game, but I'm pretty sure the company that made Drive Club, I'm guessing it's not a third party. It's one of Sony's. It was one of Sony's first party.
It was, but because they fucked it up so bad, they just decided to close that division down.
A first party studio tends to have at least 100 employees.
Oh, there was definitely more than 100 working on that game.
Exactly. No Man's Sky, Hello Games. If they get they've invested all their money into this game. If this game doesn't get released, or if it gets pushed back too much, they will be in a lot worse situation than what the company behind the studio behind Drive Club would be.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it'll be out of all their money.
The thing is, if it's it says in the article that the reliable sources said that if it was delayed, that it would be either 1 or 2 months of a delay.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind too much if that is the case. I can wait another 2 months for the game.
But
But
then
I do feel sorry for the people who have taken time off work to play this game
Yeah.
for a week
Oh, I know,
and can't get
right?
work,
Yeah.
can't actually get that vacation.
Time back.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't change the dates again. Because I know in this country, you've got to like let them know a month in advance.
Yeah.
So people come up to May now, and it's less than a month away before the release of the game, and now they can't change the date of the dates of their holiday times. But what would really annoy me is the fact that okay, it's been delayed another 1 or 2 months. That's fine. We can deal with that as long as the game's going to come out. But then you get to another 30 days before release, and then they got to push it back again.
Well, the thing is, if the delay does if it is actually true about the delay, then Hello Games have got to promise that it's going to be released on a certain date. Otherwise, it's fucked.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. They shouldn't have given a date. If it is true, they shouldn't have given a date in the first place.
That gets me too, because like as definitive as they are now, I mean, in the past it's always been really murky and sketchy.
Yeah.
And this is when it's coming out. Everybody's gonna have it.
Yeah.
See, this is
That
kind of
tells me
like
that pretty much now. I mean, now, not months ago, but now, because we're so close to the date, they got to be done working on it and are focused on making the copies and getting them packaged and getting them ready for distribution. I've been through that my whole life.
Yeah.
That's the kind of work I used to do before I got into digital art and gaming and whatnot. And it takes a little while to get all that done and get it into the truck and get it out the door.
Yeah.
this is why I actually want to hear Hello Games say on this.
Right.
Basically, I want to know what's wrong and what they're doing to fix it. If it's something that is not their fault, then I understand it. But if it is something that they fucked up on, then it is entirely their fault, and they shouldn't have announced a date for release.
Yeah.
And
If
I
you
think
understand.
Sean is the type of guy, like you said, I think he would have a press release by now, too.
Yeah.
He would say, look, we got to get this fixed before we send it out.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy I think that would come out and say that immediately almost.
Oh yeah, definitely. I trust them completely.
See, what I think they should do is go the film route. Now, films, from the get-go, they tell you when the film's supposed to come out on. Right? So they start filming and they say, August 17th, 2017. They tell you like a year in advance the date's going to get out. Now, that can change throughout that time, but at least it's not 3 months away from when the film's going to get released. Because they say, oh no, we're pushing it back another 2 months, the film.
Yeah.
They'll tell you plenty of time in advance, so it's not... Because once we found out the dates that the game was meant to be released, you saw all these countdown timers and things.
Yeah.
No one's going to do a countdown timer for like 10 months in advance
Oh no.
or anything like that. Can you imagine seeing 10 months worth of countdown
That would be
timers daily?
so much fun.
Yeah,
So much fun.
that would fucking irritate me to pieces.
I bet you somewhere in this world there's one geeky techie person
Yeah, who's done that.
that built a counter like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's been on their desktop this whole time.
But
It was me.
but like at least a film. I mean, even like the bigger game companies, you can bet that EA will always release FIFA at the end of September. I think it is.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end of September, you don't always
But-
know the date. You don't always know the date, but it's always like the last couple of weeks of September that it's released.
That's another thing as well. Like EA Sports, when they do FIFA, they've been doing that game for years, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they know exactly what they're doing, exactly what they want with the game.
Don't get me wrong. That's fair enough. But obviously they'll tell you the date. They won't tell you the date, but they'll give you the month.
Yeah.
And you can always say, okay, they give me the month. But I would be okay if EA wanted to take an extra 2 or 3 months away from September, so like December time, to properly put some different effort into FIFA and make it slightly better, that's fine. But if they were to do that 3 months before the usual release of the game, after giving a date,
by that time they would have had reveal trailers and all that kind of thing out.
So is No Man's Sky, really.
Yeah.
They had, I mean, their main trailer is
that's my point. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they've already, like, if it's 3 months until the release of FIFA, then they're gonna have like the trailers out, and then if they say, "Oh, we're pushing it back," then everyone's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, sure, but it's like I said, they've had that Rutger Hauer trailer for No Man's Sky out for months. Thanks, dogs, for barking in the background. For months, like, was it? It was last. It was, in fact, it was the release for the month, wasn't it? So it was when they said it was coming out in June. They had that Rutger Hauer or Hauger, whatever his name is, trailer released. So, but don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not, hating on Halo games or anything like that. I'm just giving out plausible possibilities that could happen. They have happened in the past with smaller companies, bigger companies. I think it was it the indie game Fez that suffered from like massive setbacks as well in the development of that game. I think maybe Super Meat Boy as well, whatever that game's called, suffered from major setbacks, and they were even smaller teams. They were like 2-man teams, 1-man teams, working on them games as well. So it can happen, but the fact with those games, they're very small indie games, whereas No Man's Sky is an indie game that's been blown out of the water.
Yeah,
it's this middle ground of games that might start occurring. But yes, so I think we've pretty much exhausted the whole delaying.
And honestly, all the things that we've speculated in this 32 minutes and 46 seconds, I'm sitting here kind of reflecting on everything we've said and speculated.
Yeah.
And none of it really sounds good and plausible. I mean, all those instances kind of have happened in the past, but in different ways. And I'm going to stay on the fact that it's just a hype train.
Yeah. I just want some kind of confirmation, even if it's from Sony.
Right.
It doesn't even have to be from Hello Games or Sean.
That's the thing. Even if it's delayed, I can live with that. I just want to know.
Yeah.
I want to see something definitive. I want to see it come on Hello Games, IGN, PlayStation. What's the PlayStation Network thingy called? Whatever.
Yeah, on the PlayStation.
I've seen a lot of things that it looks convincing, but it didn't come from none of those three, so I don't believe it.
No. But what I'm worried about is if it's just been dead silent until E3, you get to E3 a week before the release of the game, and then it's just going to be like, yeah, we're pushing it back.
Yeah, that would be a poor show.
Like I said, there's, it's the 27th today of the recording of the podcast. I think the Sony press conference at E3 is on for some reason I've got the 13th or the 14th in mind. So, we're only 3 weeks out from E3. So, whatever they are going to be showing us at E3, it's going to get either a massive hype or not. But they really need to, in some way, get something out there about these rumours.
Definitely.
I think it's safe to say, because even if you like Phil, where you're still thinking it's bull, you're still going to have this. I think you will always have this little niggly feeling.
Oh, I have it. Yes, I have it. I'm trying to keep it at bay.
But it's hard though, isn't it? It's like trying to be good. It's like trying to be a good kid at Christmas, where you don't want to go looking for your presents, but you know where they are, kind of thing. You just want to try and ignore it, but you know where your presents are, and you think, oh, I could have a quick look see what they've got me or something. But yeah.
Oh, that was so me back in the
exactly.
day.
I actually did. I developed a method.
Bad Phil.
I figured out. I swear to God, I did this, man. I figured out a way to open up presents and then get them back together without anybody ever knowing.
Wow.
Kids, stop listening. He's a bad influence.
I did it from like 12 on.
Make a YouTube tutorial, please.
But yes, guys.
That was so horrible.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section below. We definitely want to hear what your thoughts are on this whole situation. Obviously, if between now and then something comes out, I may do like a short individual recording episode, whatever, update for you guys as well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us all out. Make sure you go check out these guys as well. From me to you guys, I will see you next time. What's happening, guys, and welcome back to the Galactic Explorers Podcast. This is a bit of a special kind of thing. Part two of two? Part two of two? Yeah.
part two of two?
Yeah,
well, that would be convenient, wouldn't it? If it was the second part of a two-part
Part
thing.
8 of 3. Yeah, so part 2 of 2. So this is the continuation of the first part's podcast about the rumour at first about the game being delayed. And Saturday morning for the UK sometime, we received the dreadful news that the game has been delayed until 9th of August for the US and 12th of August for the UK. I'm not sure what the Europe release date is, but yeah, it's between them
Europe
two.
will be the same, because UK is in Europe, so it'll be the same.
Oh, it wasn't for the original release.
Was it not?
No.
It also might not be in Europe by the time the game comes out.
Exactly. But it was the 21st of June for US, 22nd or 23rd for the Europe, and then 24th for us.
Oh, so they might put it the day before then for Europe.
So, but yes, the game has been officially confirmed by Sean Murray himself on the PlayStation blog website. It has been delayed for 70 odd days.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I feel sorry for Craig.
It's my birthday is ruined.
Yeah, guys, his birthday was on the original UK release date, 24th of June.
So, I've been away for the weekend. I've had no access to the internet. I've had no access to the news. And I've come home today, this being Monday today, when we're recording. And, Ash tells me, oh, have you heard the news? I'm like, no, what news? And he sends me a link to the IGN article telling me that the game is cancelled. And I don't think I've stopped crying.
I'm sorry,
You
man.
sound like you haven't stopped crying.
He's an emotional wreck right now after the beating he's been taking.
Seriously, there is that much salt. My goldfish is no longer freshwater.
Oh man, it's kind of devastating, to be honest.
It's a kick in the teeth, to be fair.
It is. I mean, usually games get delayed a few months before release, not 30 days or whatever it was.
But maybe, just maybe, and I'm going to speculate a little bit more here because, hey, that's what this podcast is about.
Well, it is for the next 8-9 episodes.
For the next 8-9 episodes, speculation. But I'm going to put it out there. Maybe, just that possibility, it's not quite finished and that it just needs polishing.
Yeah, well,
What if it needs polishing?
That was like the general gist of his message on the PlayStation blog. I'm looking right now at the blog, and it says, where does it say? However, as we approached our final deadlines, we realised that some key moments needed extra polish to bring them up to our standards. I have had to make the tough choice to delay the game for a few weeks to allow us to deliver something special.
So there you go. That kind of confirms the fact that they had to polish things to make things better.
Yeah.
And let's just put it out there. Would you rather have a half-assed, unpolished game or a polished one?
That's very true, yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm all for setbacks.
Yeah.
I love the fact that devs and publishers go, actually, okay, you might not meet your deadline, crack on.
It's
we'll
more
put
common.
it back a couple.
It's more common with indie developers, though, isn't it? Because this is pretty much their livelihood. A big, massive studio, they've got like several games usually in the process of being created. Whereas, like, obviously, Hello Games, they work on one game at a time, and this realistically, this is their biggest game as a company they've made together. So this is their
crown jewels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is nice to know that they are. I mean, the only problem I find is the fact that it's procedurally generated. Obviously, you don't know what's out there. They don't know.
No, that's true.
They don't know 100% of everything what is out there. So, it's got to be something like you said. It says key moments. So is that storyline based?
It could be story, quest based,
Yeah, or is it going to be
faction based?
Yeah,
it could be anything.
Gameplay based, so obviously like the controls and stuff like that. It's got to be
Well,
something
suppose-
it's got to be something that's regularly happening in the game for all players. Otherwise, because obviously if it's just one random thing that happens once every so often in the game, is it really that important to delay the game? You could just patch it over several patches, or it's got to be something key to the game, hasn't it? Realistically,
I think if I was going to say that, and I'm sure Craig would agree with me here.
I'm still mourning. Don't.
Don't. But day one patches, as much as I like them, I fucking hate them.
yeah.
Why?
Games
Because
these days don't
just
come out without
seems
one, do
lazy.
they?
It just seems lazy. Like, why release a game
If it's not finished,
that isn't finished?
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
I fully agree.
With some DLC.
it makes it stupider because you spent like maybe 6 hours downloading a game, and then you've got another like hour, 2 hours to download a 10 gig day one patch or whatever it is, haven't you?
Exactly.
This is why I stopped playing most MMOs.
Please don't. This is gonna hurt me, Craig.
Excuse me, who was the one who spent nearly 18 hours downloading, Elder Scrolls Online the other week?
Not you.
69
gigs worth.
Nah.
69. Anyway, back on topic, guys.
We can't promise maturity in this podcast.
Not after being devastated like this, no.
No. We're just going to wait even longer.
I know.
But yes, I see where you're going. You don't like MMOs because huge patches. But might I point out that not all MMOs have huge patches. Only PC MMOs have huge patches.
Unless you haven't
There you go.
downloaded a game for so long and you just get them arse raping your PlayStation.
Unless, of course, you're Ash and you delete a game that was purchased by your young ones only to find that you actually really wanted to play that game with other people. Yeah, then you're an idiot.
Pretty much. I haven't played it for like months and months and months anyway, since last year at some point. But yeah. But see, the thing is though, with some games, when they start delaying it, it carries on getting delayed and delayed and delayed. Now,
The Last Guardian.
it hasn't been
Sorry.
it hasn't been confirmed. Yeah, it hasn't been confirmed by Sean or Hello Games that possible VR support for the game in the future. They have been working with it because in some of the videos around the studio, you can actually see the VR headset there. Now that gets released in October, I think it is, or November. Now,
October.
Yeah.
This year, PlayStation VR.
so that's only 2 months after the new release date. Now, could it get to the point in 6 weeks' time, and they'll just say we're pushing it back to October? And
Don't joke about that.
But it is a possibility, because if the game does become VR compatible, what a great title to release as a release game for the PlayStation VR.
But you've got other games like Project Cars that's currently available that is being... I mean, I know it's being retrofitted, if you like. It's being patched with VR support. But that is also going to be a day one PlayStation VR title.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to implement PlayStation VR, you need to, basically recreate the whole game
Yeah.
for use with the VR headset, and that's kind of a waste.
Well,
Like,
we don't know how long they have been working on with VR though. We know they've been working with it, but we just don't know for how long. So they could have been working with it near enough at the same pace, kind of thing, with the non VR version of the game.
It's possible.
But then again, 2 months after October, it's Christmas, and biggest time to sell games is Christmas.
Well, that delay would make no sense.
What about my birthday? Damn it!
Your birthday isn't important anymore, fool.
That's a sting. That's like, hey, so wound.
The only reason your birthday was important is because No Man's Sky was getting released then. Let's be honest. You wasn't looking forward to this birthday being 30.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Dirty.
Remind me that I'm decrepit.
the only bright side to that birthday was No Man's Sky.
Well, it could be worse, Craig.
I'm only joking, Craig. He knows I love him really.
How could it be worse? How could it possibly be worse?
You're 29 again.
Uh,
Yeah, you're old enough to use that excuse now. I'm turning 29 again.
Yay.
But yeah, like we've also had these rumors about this PlayStation 4K, what's possibly getting released. An amped up version of the PlayStation, obviously.
I've got some, I say, intel on the PlayStation 4K.
You've heard it here first, guys.
This is intel you can actually go and
Take it to the bank.
collect off of the off the internet if you so desire. But Microsoft are obviously at it as well.
Yeah.
With their Xbox
Speculation they're releasing
22 or something. I have no idea. I don't care.
Is it speculation they're releasing 2 Xboxes within the next 2 years or something?
Something like that. They're doing a cycle like the PC where they upgrade the hardware.
Yeah.
And make it better.
PlayStation, however.
But we're focusing on the PlayStation side of things here.
Yeah.
And the 4K, or I think it's called Neo.
Yeah, codename
Neo. It is going to obviously have the generic, more power in the GPU, more power in the CPU, this, that, the other. It's just going to be more powerful.
Yeah.
But it's also going to natively, going back to the point, support the PlayStation VR. It's literally not going to need the external VR pass-through box that the older original generation PlayStation 4 will need. So whether that is going to make a difference to No Man's Sky, if that extra processing power is actually required and they're programming it for said power ratings, then that would make sense. They might do a version of the game that is specifically built for Neo to leverage the power of the console. I wouldn't see why that wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, but then again, that would end up being more like a like the Last of Us remake for what came out for the PlayStation 4, wouldn't it? Obviously, they remastered it just for the PlayStation. Surely they should release a version what's just one what will work with the original PlayStation 4, and then once this Neo comes out,
it's
kind of remastered game, so with 4K graphics or whatever to work for them.
See, I think Craig will also probably agree that a 4K remastered game, not worth it.
For what?
For any generation of console. A 4K remastered game would make no sense.
Yeah.
But you get these people who've got enough money to bloody buy 4K TVs and who buy these this Neo out of the pure fact that they can. And
yes and no. I think it's because they'll want the latest. I don't see currently in any console generation the need to make. I mean, I've fallen into the trap of slims. Okay, PlayStation 3, I had an original 60 gig FAT. I had, was it the 120 gig second generation of the FAT?
Yeah.
I had 120 gig slim, and I had a 500 gig super slim, so the really, really thin one.
Is that the one where you
had
got the slidey thing?
Yeah, the top-loaded tray, which was
just
awesome.
It just looks grim to me. It looks awful.
It was an awesome machine, and it was really light, and it was, it made sense to have one because
it just seemed like a fucking something from the 90s, like the early 90s would have a slidey disc tray.
It was cool. It was cool. Shut up. Okay.
It sounds like a crappy DJ's version of a CD mixer thing.
But let's put this one thing straight. Okay, how many times have you gone? Like, I mean, Xbox 360, I'm looking at one right now, and it's got a disc tray that sticks out of the console. How many times have you walked into a disc tray that you forgot was open?
Never!
Oh, must be me then.
Where the hell did you have your Xbox 360, man?
Up high, generally. I tend to just walk into it because...
Craig, did you ever experience this?
Leaving a tray open?
Yeah, I'm walking into it.
What, on a 360?
Yeah.
Well, on any console that had a disc tray.
Anything, yeah.
Sticky outy disc tray.
I'm pretty sure I remember the 360 automatically going back in when you turned it off.
Not when I turned it off, it was always running. Well, mostly.
Like if you put your disc on it and then you didn't like push it back in, but if you just walk past it, did you ever like walk into it or anything when it was out?
No, I don't think I ever have.
It must just be me. I am a terrible human being.
I just can't imagine, like, where would you put your Xbox so that it's in your walking path kind of thing with the tray sticking out?
Yeah, okay. That's just me.
Like, the only thought I can think is it's in the smack bang middle of your room and there's like... You've got nowhere. You put it in front of like your kitchen door, so you've got no way of getting through into your kitchen without knocking into it.
I'm just saying, I'm one for keeping things like in a straight line, and when it's at like
clean
waist
edges.
height, clean it honestly. And the disc tray sticks out over the edge of your clean edge, and you just walk. Anyway, this is not what this podcast is about, surely.
No, but now we can take the piss for 1,000 days.
Yes, just do it. Be the Shia LaBeouf you were always born to be.
Hell yeah, just do it. But it is kind of like the possibility in the realm of possibilities, especially just for the VR anyway. Maybe not the 4K, the Neo, but it is a possibility that they will push it back to an October release for the VR.
I really hope not. Like, I can fully understand delaying a game to make sure that it's polished, it's finished, it's the best that it can be for its release.
But not for a piece of hardware.
Yeah, and I can fully understand and support not having to have a day one patch. I'm fully behind that. For as much as I'm annoyed about the delay being confirmed, if it's for the right reasons, then I support it. If it's so it can be developed and adapted for the release of a new, either peripheral add-on like the PlayStation VR, or for this PlayStation 4.5 or whatever they're calling it, then no. We've already waited a good
3 years.
A good couple of years since this game was announced, and I'm sure you've been the same, Ash, and Kieran. I know I've been harping on about this game to you for so long.
Yeah, just a little bit.
since it was announced, I've been supporting this game.
Yeah.
To find that, if it's delayed and it's going to be put out on this PlayStation 4.5, I'm not going to be getting a PlayStation 4.5. So to find out that I might not actually get to play this game, I'm genuinely infuriating.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling, and this is coming from a fact that, developers are not just programming games specifically for PlayStation Neo, that it's not going to be released specifically for that console, or in any fashion going to need to use the console's power. Because, let's face it, and Ash, you've got an Xbox One, and you can testify now, and you'll agree with me, Ash, Craig, I've banged on about it enough on Facebook chat that I hate the power of the Xbox One. They are identical machines underneath, besides their operating systems. But the Xbox falls flat on its face with just reliability, stability, and just anything. So, whereas the PlayStation, even if they're going to release a 4.5, I don't think it's going to need to leverage any power with No Man's Sky. The procedural generation might be slicker and faster, and the general running of the game.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't think there's going to be a massive difference.
Well, looking at the PC minimum requirements, it says 10 gig for the overall size, and that's because all the procedural generation is done on their servers. It's all mathematics, isn't it? So there's no physical, well, not physical, but no physical terrain being saved.
No,
once you go out of the distance, and obviously you lose sight of what's in that view
behind you.
Yeah. It turns into mathematics. You can't see it until you turn around and it appears again. So it's all mathematics. So that's why the game is only like so small, because it's only like 10 gig size because of that. So realistically, the PS4 should be able to run it completely fine.
Oh, it will. That's the thing, and I think.
And there's no need for a Neo unless it's just for the 4K resolution on it. That's it.
Well, yeah, and even then, if you're a bit hard up and I can afford the console, now I'm stuck because I can't afford this flashy TV.
Yeah,
you're still going to be running the game at full 1080p HD.
Exactly.
So you're not gaining anything by owning a 4.5.
And they're pretty bog standard these days, just a 1080p TV.
Well, and the resolutions aren't shabby.
No.
They're nice and clean images. So, worry not there, Mr. Craig. I think you're going to be experiencing No Man's Sky.
And if not, like I said, the minimum requirements for the game isn't extremely complicated or expensive to upgrade your laptop or your PC or anything. Even if, you've got a fairly new PC anyway, with a little laptop, haven't you? So it should, run it anyway.
If you're running on a modern system, yeah. If you're running on a 5-year-old system, you may struggle.
Well, it depends on it. It depends if you upgraded it enough times, whatever.
It's just easier to buy it on a console, to be fair.
You've got no fat fanning about, really, have you? But, so, overall opinions on the game being delayed. Craigie?
As I said, if it's for the right reasons, and if it's because they want to make the game the best that it can be when they release it, then
yay.
I fully support the delay. But
my birthday.
I now want something better for my birthday, and I don't think I can do that.
No. Delayed birthday present.
I'm not waiting until August for my birthday present.
It's No Man's Sky. You got 5 billion years worth of gameplay. Shut up.
I'll get it. See, my dad's birthday's in August, so I'll get it for him. Like, hey, Dad, here's my present to you. Never seeing me again.
Do it. Do it.
He might enjoy that, to be fair.
Oh.
Sorry, Craig.
Mr. Craig's parents love him.
I'm sorry, Craig.
Yes, Kieran.
I'm going to say that while I'm with Craig, to be fair, I'm all for developers, publishers, whatever, to go ahead and say, like, okay, we put our game back because we want to make it better, and that just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Why would you release a half-assed game? Just get it right. Just do it. Just do it. It's simple.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I'm not crying over birthday, obviously.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah, pretty much. My opinion.
Ooh.
I'm a little bit annoyed. Go on, Kieran.
I just thought maybe another part of this, maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll just hold on to the thought for a minute.
Okay.
Carry on.
Tell us next time. Write it down.
No, I'll tell you in a minute.
opinion-
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. My opinion. I'm a little bit annoyed that it's been set back. For obvious reasons. It's we've been waiting so long for this game. I'm the same. I'm all happy that they want to make it better. I just wish they were a little bit open and told us what. Not be very specific, but just be a bit more specific about what it is they are taking it back on. I mean, saying that you're polishing it is just a general term, isn't it? Really, these days for people who put games back. Oh, we're polishing it. It's just a word that gets thrown out around a lot. But I just wish they'd be a bit more open, especially since they've been so quiet on everything in the game anyway. Just a little bit of clarity saying, a bit of honesty. But yeah, it's going to be a better game because of it. hopefully that's going to be the only delay, and they're just not going to fuck us around. Pretty much.
I've got a feeling that we're going to be all experiencing a better game.
Yeah.
I really do. It just makes sense to put it back, focus on the bits that just need cleaning up, tidying up.
Yeah.
A good spring clean of the game files wouldn't
yeah.
go amiss. You just make things slick.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go to the point that we made, obviously with us lot last time.
Yeah.
And what if they listened to our last podcast?
Ooh. Oh,
what if?
That would be amazing.
What if? Just put this out there, but Craig.
Oh my word! What if they've done Space Quidditch?
Exactly.
Space Quidditch. Space Quidditch. Obviously, my idea. Remember, guys.
No.
No. It was...
Craig, don't make me edit you out again. No, that's why they delayed it, because they didn't want anyone thinking, "Oh, let's add Space Quidditch into the game," and they've ruined your birthday because of it.
But that. See, I was waiting for Craig to twig there. But that. What if? Just that. What is that tiny chance that they have gone? Hey, this GEP, this sounds interesting. Let's listen to this episode.
I'm not gonna lie, I do tag them. I do tag like hashtag Hello No Man's Sky and tag Sean Murray into the actual post on Twitter each time I post a new episode up.
So there you go. What if he has just gone and skipped through to the end of the last episode we recorded and gone, this idea is fucking genius.
Why didn't we just make a game about Space Quidditch?
Why did we not do this?
Guys, we need to find these podcasters and hire them.
I know, right? Oh, I think I would literally jizz.
Oh, I mean, if that happens, guys, just have we got any beers? Can we say hold our beers?
I'd say hold my water. Yeah, sure.
Hold some form of beverage, be it anything, and just go sod it. What if that happens?
I'm not gonna lie, that would be incredible. I just wish you acknowledged me is all. Acknowledge me, Sean. Acknowledge me.
Notice me, senpai.
Oh, guys, that would be incredible. But I think we'll have to call it the end of the episode there, guys. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you think about the delay. Make sure you check out these guys as well. Their links will be in the description below. And from us, and from me to you guys, I will see you next time.